Welcome to Giant Radio, where we're all about big ideas in sales and marketing and eye-popping discussions with successful entrepreneurs. Turn up the volume and settle in. Now, here's the founder of Giant Jacks Media and your host, Paul Hitchcock.
Hey everybody, this is Paul Hitchcock. I am the president and founder of Giant Jacks Media, and this is my media channel called Giant TV. And this is where I have incredible entrepreneurs, owners, high-level executives doing good work, and certainly Michael Durante and Stephen Y. Rick are two great entrepreneurs. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Good being here.
Yeah, and Michael, we know that you're the
Mhm.
president of Thai National. Stephen, you're the VP of Enterprise for Thai National. And I want to get into this because I got to know both of you and love the business. But let's talk about what the business is. I'm starting with you, Michael, and how the
Yeah,
business came about, a little bit about the history of the business.
gotcha. Well, I started the business with my father 23 years ago. So he was Rich Durante. He was in the telecom industry since the 60s. Uh, we grabbed the name Thai National from the old company, Thai Communications, he used to work for after they dissolved in the 90s. Uh, Thai Communications was the second largest phone system producer in the country.
Oh,
And Rich ran their national division after he came up all the way through engineering and whatnot. So when we grabbed the name Thai Communication or Thai National, we were able to go back to the 250 old Thai communication locations that were dissolved at that point. And most of those managers wound up just restarting their businesses with that client base. So we started with a subcontracting network of about 250 subcontractors out of the gate from relationships built over 15, 20 years.
yeah.
And that's really what made it successful. We've only focused on large multi-location companies where we keep our project management, our help desk, and our engineering all in-house. And then we utilize our subcontractors to actually fulfill the work out in the field. Very successful model. Mainly one of the main reasons is because of how we work with our subcontractors. We're well over 1,500 subcontractors to date,
Yeah.
and we pay them quickly. So our goal is to pay our subcontractors on a net 15. We take care of them because they take care of our clients, and we don't leave them out in the field. A lot of our competitors basically reverse bid a lot of these projects and just send a guy out there, tell them, do X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
and they get inconsistent results across country. So we hold on to our subcontractors, provide them an engineering resource, take in our deliverables, and make sure that things are done a certain way. So it's
Well,
been very successful.
no, I love it. And before we get into the business, I want to ask you, Stephen, how did you come into the business? A little bit about your background and your connection coming into Thai.
I
I know
always hate,
you're a salty sea dog. You got a good
yeah,
story.
I was gonna say I always hate saying it because I've been in it so long. I actually started in the industry with Western Electric before it was AT&T, and I used to have to oil and grease the machines and the rotary phone selectors. So yes, I'm that old. Uh, Worked in the central office, kind of wanted to get outside and become a more of a technician and engineer. And I actually worked for Thai Telecommunications with Rich Durante when it first, not when it first started. I'm not that old, but when it was the first key system offered to people when the divestiture happened, and you can buy your own phone system.
Ah,
And been in the industry ever since. Everything from Top Gun engineer for Nortel to pulling cables to be working my way up to be VP. One of the things that Michael was talking about, one of the things I pride myself in, years ago, I was at a customer site and I had no engineer support, had nothing, and I had to figure it out myself. And at that time, I promised myself I would never leave a technician out there. And one of the things Ty does is we support our customers, we support our technicians. We always make sure everybody knows that they got somebody that has
nice. Yeah, love it. It's interesting because as I want to get into your business a bit, I as you're talking, we've got to know each other. I think back, I had a small stint selling data for Sprint. Remember back in the days, it was Sprint, MCI, and AT&T. And
Oh yeah.
like it was a dog eat dog world, selling data and voice to these businesses. It was hilarious. But man, that business has come a long way. So for you then, with your business, Michael and Stephen, is you're focused on multi-locations. Give
Hmm.
me give me a little flavor of who are your clients, and what,
Gotcha.
yeah, who are you working with?
Well, I always have to talk about our oldest clients. We've had them since we started the business in '03, which is DHL. So we started working with Airborne Express for when DHL bought them, and
Ah,
we were involved in kind of the upgrade project of upgrading all of the Airborne Express sites to the DHL pieces. And they've been a great customer of ours for years upon years upon years. Still are today. So that's one of our big ones, where they do everything from logistic warehouses all the way to small offices, right?
DHL, yeah. How many locations do they have? Curious.
Well, they have multiple divisions, so
I
it's
was
it's hard.
gonna say,
Oh,
So
all
they're
over.
like
Yeah.
they're like four or five companies rolled into one. So we're talking about hundreds across country. So
Okay.
from all different sizes. I mean, we do that all the way down to even smaller, 50 to 100 site locations. We put on recently about 100 site staffing company. And we've helped them grow a lot as well. Just being able to be as flexible as we are, being able to shift around their locations, providing them solutions that they would never have thought of. Since we touch every area of technology, we basically transcended industry, so we don't go through verticals so much as we look for good partners, and we want to be with our clients and sit on the same side of the bench with them, or same side of the table, and help them negotiate with either different carriers, different solution providers, as well as give them our experience. So we come in to help them basically consult and then find the correct solutions.
So let me ask you about that DHL and specifically, because Stephen,
Mhm.
I imagine they're an enterprise client of yours.
yeah, it's funny. Michael brought them up. I literally just got off a phone call with the head of IT for Express, and during the conversation, he kept saying, "Stephen, with all your experience at our sites, what else do you think we should be doing here?"
Mhm.
We're doing a UPS rollout refresh, getting all their UPSs up to date, making sure the Meraki's and everything's plugged in correctly. But it made me feel very good that he kept asking me, with your vast experience with our
Yep.
sites and your other customers, what are we missing? You tell me what we should be doing.
That's awesome.
And I did give him a bunch of options and thoughts, but as Michael said, I always use the word partner. I always tell the customers, I'm a terrible salesperson, but I'm a great partner and counselor. And
Yeah.
I like to look to see what you could use, what would better your business. But we don't sell one solution. We're not just selling Cisco. We're not just selling Avaya phone systems. We are
Mhm.
what you need us to be. We have some clients that provide their own equipment. We have others that say, you tell us what we need and provide it. So
Right.
I think that's what makes us different.
Has with DHL then, are you in the trenches with them? Like, is it a weekly thing, Stephen, where you're talking to folks over there? They got so much going on, or like, how do you get
I'm
involved?
I'm going to say, actually, it's funny that you say in the trenches because I do tend to go out to the sites
Do
sometimes to
you?
do some of the installations so that I keep up to date with what's going on and see actually what's involved. My team has all of their people on teams, so we're actually communicating daily, constantly.
Mhm.
We do have our weekly or biweekly meetings, but there's constant communications going on
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they're constantly moving sites and refreshing. So.
Mhm. Yeah, we
Yeah.
find our best partners are the ones that utilize us as an extension of their own um, departments.
Okay.
So, and the reason why is when we're involved in the day to day, we're also able to help them find better solutions, such as the different backup internet solutions that we're bringing to not just DHL, but other ones of our vendor or customers, for whether it be Pulsar or which is a kind of a Starlink solution, or be a 5G wireless backup for We have one of those that uses a vSIM, so it doesn't matter what carriers are out there; it's always going to be able to connect. So understanding where they are with their business or what they're doing day to day really allows us to offer the best value for
Hmm.
everyone that we work with.
Well, I gotta imagine, I'm so curious about this. The technology is changing so rapidly. I mean, for me as an outsider, you're the experts. It seems so overwhelming to me. You mentioned Starlink. Isn't that, Elon Musk's scenario? So
Mhm.
there's that, and I hear a whole bunch of stuff going on with Starlink. Oh,
Mhm.
you can go buy one of these things at your local Best Buy now and
Mhm.
do this, and it can replace, you know, your cellular stuff. I don't understand half of it. But, and then I know at some of the businesses I'm involved with, the IT people over the years have upgraded. They brought in a beehive system for
Mhm.
calling and stuff. So how do you keep your thumb on the pulse of everything that's changing so rapidly? And is AI a factor in changing your landscape too?
Well, AI is a good tool when having to do in-depth research, right? So when we're
Okay.
looking for not necessarily new solutions, because there's a difference between being on the cutting edge and being on the bleeding edge. And one of the big pieces is if you go too far out and are too far of an early adopter, especially for enterprise solutions, you could find yourself in a lot of dangerous soup. There is definitely so much technology coming out and so much private equity money behind it that these
Ah,
solutions can sometimes disappear overnight.
oh, okay.
So, generally, when we're looking for a solution, I'll let Stephen talk about some of the experiences he's had too, but we are looking more with our partners that are established. And we had one. uh, Stephen went out with one partner that was building some. These are years upon years ago, building a kind of an all-in-one box for pizza shops, and
All,
and
all in one box. What do you mean all in one box?
It
Stephen, I'll let you
it
tell the story.
it it's funny because being a Nortel engineer, they had a system called BCM, which was Business Communications Manager, which was all in one box. And we were approached by a company that came up with a solution for pizzas that was an all in one box. And it worked out perfect because I've experienced somewhat of it. And it was definitely on the bleeding edge. And bleeding edge is bad, but when you're bleeding edge in a Domino's pizza, it makes it a whole different level that nobody's ready for. Um, so we helped them with development. We helped them with a lot of other things, but it just
I remember Steven came back from a trade show with these guys and he goes, we shouldn't partner with them anymore. He's like, why? He
yeah.
goes, they are spending money like it's not theirs. He goes, they
Ah,
are, and I see how much they're putting out there, how much product. And he was right. What is it? Not even 6 months later, all their
Yeah,
investors pulled
they
out.
folded.
oh, they did.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and go ahead, Steve.
yeah, I, we quickly realized that it wasn't the best solution to provide our customers. We
Mhm.
did support them on their customers and help them with some installs with our knowledge, but I have an employee that works for me that call it spidey senses, and it's like when the spidey senses go off, we are very hesitant. We make sure uh, we don't want to do one and dones. We keep our customers, some of them since the beginning, like you said, 23 years. A lot of our customers have been with us for a long time. And the way we do that is to make sure we're giving them the right solution. And some of our customers say, I have my solution. I just need somebody to help us with that.
Yeah.
And what we do at that point is we make sure we learn their solution so that we can support it correctly.
Mhm.
Uh, we never push product. We just want to be your partner to make sure you're successful on all your sites.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
that's interesting you bring up because I think all of us who have clients, whatever business you're in, there's always vendors that want to get into your client base, right? They coming to you saying, "Hey, could be great for your clients." You make a wrong decision there, you torch the relationship with your clients. So,
100%.
yeah, yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, Michael, you were going to say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, back to your original question.
Yeah.
we really keep on the cutting edge with technology and up to speed on what could be offered through our partners. So it's understanding what partnerships we want to keep, which ones we feel are going to be fruitful and help our clients in the future. And honestly, I mean, there are some of them that I'll talk to the owner of the company and say, listen, this guy's got the same values we do. We know that they're not going to be blowing smoke at us. Or, these guys have been known, a pretty good example is what's called the executives over at, and I'll call them out, executives over at Windstream made a decision to raise all of our customers' bills, double them basically over a 1 month period.
What do they do?
And
What does Windstream
Windstream
provide?
was phone service. So we had a handful of
Okay.
customers on their phone service, and they doubled them. They doubled all of those invoices, including ours. As a matter of fact, we were using Windstream at the time for our phone system. And they said, okay, well, we'll let everyone out of their contracts. And I'm like, let's make a note of those executives. We will not do business with them again. I don't care where
Yeah.
they go, what they do. The people that we worked with over there were great. They went to other companies, smaller companies. But it's one of those understanding where your partnership lies and who you're actually working with, and if they share those same values about how to treat the customers. So we do a lot of that.
I want a question on that. If a business needs a
Mhm.
phone system, obviously every business does. How many different types of phone systems are out there? Is there like 100 to choose from? Is there? I mean,
like like 1,000.
there is a
Quick,
thousand.
quick story on that. I was working with a large healthcare customer, multi-sites, several hundreds and hundreds of phones. And we had been working a long time designing, and they came across, they wanted it to be Toshiba. Let's go
Toshiba. Okay.
Toshiba.
But Stephen, Toshiba equipment or the
Toshiba
whole?
phone system. It was a Toshiba phone system
Mhm.
at the time.
We were one
Luckily
of their
for
top dealers too at the
we
time.
were their top dealers. We were their number one dealers. Luckily
Mhm.
for me, I was also researching NEC and also kind of sub-designing it for NEC.
Mhm.
So we flew into Washington, uh, uh, Vancouver, Washington, for this big meeting with all the Toshiba guys, this corporate customer. It was a signed deal. We're going to start implementation, start rolling out. Everything was going to go great. While I'm in the parking lot, I noticed nobody else was showing up from Toshiba, not one person. So I started calling people, panicking, and I get this phone call from our uh, channel partner saying, Stephen, they told us to stay at the airport. Don't leave the airport. Like, what do you mean? We're about to walk in this meeting. This is insane. And then finally he called me back. He goes, Stephen, Toshiba's closing their doors. We've all been let go. They're no
Oh,
longer manufacturer installing phone systems.
Mhm.
So I had
damn.
to walk into this meeting with all these corporate mucky mucks, put this proposal and say, good news, bad news. And Rodney, who I've worked for many times, he says, okay, give me the bad news. He says, Toshiba is no longer in business. I put the quote on the table and said, this is no longer valid. I will not sell this phone system. Even though they said they support it for 2 to 3 years, this is not a valuable solution. He says, well, what the heck's the good news? I pulled out the other proposal and said that I've also designed it as an NEC system. We can implement the same solution using NEC. And we ended up deploying NEC. So
I
Oh
think I
man.
think we were the first partner to know Toshiba was out of business because of that meeting.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty funny. It wasn't funny, but it was funny. And again, that also shows you a tie. I walked into the meeting. I mean,
right.
I didn't panic. I didn't, hey, I'm still here for you. I know this isn't going to work out the way you want. And Toshiba kept wanting to have the business saying, we'll support them for X amount of years, but you're going out of business.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So
No, no, that's a great story. So when so yeah, you've got to have your thumb on the pulse of the systems. And what's hot right now? Like what is on the front lines right now in your business?
Right now is it matters what size customer you're talking about, right?
Okay.
So when you talk about customers that have a smaller footprint, a lot of locations, but small footprint out in the field, managed services is a big key. Being able to put something in, have it taken care of, make sure the security's up to date, make sure things are in place. Um, in those scenarios, we really shine because we're able to put the boots on the ground, but we're also able to bring a handful of different partners that can find the right security solution. On the enterprise side, well, Stephen, Wi-Fi 7 is pretty big now, and
Yeah, Wi-Fi 7, refreshing APs, definitely Starlink, Pulsar, Starlink is a great solution where they actually have a load balancing router that they install with it, and especially in the healthcare, I'm seeing a lot of people liking that and doing a lot of deployment on that.
Stephen, is that
Uh,
the Starlink's a satellite, right?
it's a satellite dish that you install on your roof,
Okay.
and it if there's no losing connection, there's no bad cell service, there's no somebody cuts your fiber. It's a great solution as a backup. We actually
As a
have some
backup, okay.
people. Yeah, we actually have some people in the middle of nowhere, San Diego, that we're talking to that we might be using it as the main data because there's no good service out there. So
yeah, we have
Interesting.
another company that's they install solar panels, and they're looking for us to have kind of a mobile box or mobile station utilizing Starlink as well as some routers whatnot, but they can move it anywhere they need to move it for those big installs.
Very interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And so going forward for your business, anything new on the frontier for you? I mean, pivoting at all, or is it growing? Like where do you see yourselves going next few years, 5 years or so?
Mhm. A lot of it right now is just getting our name out there and what we do. There's a lot of people and a lot of businesses that have consolidated. They're worried about their costs, but they're still flying people around to install equipment. And the amount of money that you save just by deploying a company like ours, and in the fact of not only flying the employee out, what do you say, Stephen? It's a soft cost.
yes, yes.
So, where the employee isn't doing anything for those 2 or 3 days,
Right.
they have the hotel
Yeah.
room, they have all of that. At the end of the day, have them support their field, have us actually deploy it, and maybe it's an hour worth of their time to make sure everything's connected properly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's it's funny because a lot of people feel that they want to keep it close to the vest. The only one that can do it is my team, and it's always interesting when we get the opportunity to at least try. We had one just recently with healthcare. Somebody else was installing their APs and they knocked down their whole network for almost a month. And I happened to reach out to him just as a whim because I hadn't heard from him in a while. And he's like, "Funny, you should reach out to me. We've got a site down and nobody can get it up." And by using our engineers and our technician, and again, I went out there because I kind of knew the site. We had their network up within a couple of days.
Mhm.
And
Nice.
I
Nice.
actually had one of the site contacts come up to me and give me a big hug because they have not had network in a month. You
Yeesh.
know,
Yeah,
so
their nurses were having a hard time getting to the medication the patients needed on their
yes,
tablets.
Yeah.
they had to go to the lobby because that was the only AP.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very real problems. One of the questions I had too is around capacity. Do you get involved in that? Meaning, there's just this insanely more sophisticated, stuff going on with the use of computers and technology.
Mhm.
Obviously, AI, everyone's talking
Mhm.
about it, but even video stuff
Mhm.
and I see it in my own little mini technology here. I keep having to get more robust systems to run my stuff because,
Mhm.
the video's getting more sophisticated. Does that come into play in your consults with customers?
A lot of our clients and a lot of things we see out in the field are cloud-based solutions.
Okay.
So what we do is we're worrying more about pipe and processing power for the computers just to run browsers, more so than it used to be in the past of like they have to run these thick clients and but when it comes to, it's funny you bring up the AI piece. So I'm doing an investigation now for one of our franchise partners, and their basic thing was, are we secure with AI? what kind of AI people are coming into
Big
our
deal.
meetings.
Yeah.
AI bots are listening. What are they using the data for? What are they doing all this? So we have a whole report we're putting together that basically comes out and says, here's what we could do on your platform and your 365 model to block certain ones. Here's certain settings we could do to make sure certain AIs aren't calling in your model. Here's what we could do to decrease the usage automatically, as well as here are some things you can put into your handbook to say what's allowed. And then here are the AI models that don't keep your data. What level do you have to purchase with them? Where do you have to be? If you want to have an AI note taker, which everyone does, it's very easy nowadays to have it there. It's super convenient. Which ones do you not have to worry about your data getting out because their terms and conditions are locked down? So, a lot of those things people don't think about until there's a problem. But,
Yeah.
you don't want, especially you're having talks with executives, you don't want, your plans for what you're planning strategically to be in somebody's database somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Fascinating topic for me. I mean, I think we could go on forever talking about this. It's so deep. No, I love it. I want to say thanks both of you for being here. Interesting. I know we're going to continue this discussion offline as
Mhm.
as we keep partnering on stuff. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you both.
Appreciate it, Paul.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Good
Yeah.
talking to you.